wait for it. All right.
Welcome to the Home Renovation Made Simple show, live every Thursday at 12 p.m. straight from MOG's soon-to-be old headquarters. My name is Gabriel, and as in every single show today, I have Mr. Victor Aponte, MOG CEO, father, husband, entrepreneur, founder, soon-to-be billionaire, real estate investor, and my personal friend. How are you doing, sir?
How are you? How's
Excited for
everybody
the show?
doing? Hi, always ready.
Always ready.
Always ready. Getting easier every program that we do.
Oh yeah, after a few, you just stop caring. right?
Exactly. At this point, we don't really care.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Have fun. All right, so my people, today we're going to be talking about the cost of doing composite decking. What would you like to add as an introduction, Victor?
Composite decking is not still massive. A decent amount of people do it, but the fact that it's not a massive product right now increase actually the cost to perform.
Yeah,
And it's not standard procedure in order to build this type of decks.
but it looks great.
It looks awesome.
Right.
Most of the manufacturers say that it's like a lifetime free maintenance. It's not exactly that way, but it's good enough in order to just to
Justify the
there's-
extra price,
exactly.
right? Okay, so let's jump straight to the point number one that we have, which are the cost per square foot, right? In your personal experience, what do we see at MOG as the cost per square foot of the composite decking?
Well, you can divide the cost obviously in material and labor. On the material cost, to put some perspective, the decking board it costs around maybe 7.3 times more than the regular board, wood board. And as a rule of thumb, when you're trying to do the math to count the material, you're talking right at the gate for the material 7 times more than
Right.
a regular wood deck.
Right.
On the labor, it change depending on the company. Most of these manufacturers they have like a certified companies for the products that they present to people. Obviously, these certifications are going to increase a little bit more the value. They're still kind of standard, but they're trying to have people certified to do that. We're in the process to get that certification with one of the manufacturers, Trex. And as I said, it's depending on the dynamics. A little bit different. That's why the cost of labor as well is a little bit more, as a part of the project.
So a little bit more labor, a little bit more on material,
Yeah.
and I mean a little bit more in quality. So it's a matter of like, what do you want? I always tell that to people: find out your why first. Why are you doing this? What kind of demographics are you trying to? If you're an investor, what kind of demographics are you trying to sell it for? Are they going to value a composite decking? Aren't they going to value? What are the comps? All that stuff that everybody knows.
And besides that, as an investment, maybe it doesn't make sense because the investment up front is going to be really heavy on it.
What if it's a new construction in Alpharetta?
Depending, if you have the comps with
That's what I'm
composite,
saying.
it's
That's what
the
I'm
way
saying.
to do it.
In the city, probably not.
Yeah.
But right in the city, definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. But if you're doing it in a neighborhood that makes sense, why not?
Well, depending on the comps.
It's a matter of ROI. If you're getting the ROI, who cares?
Exactly.
Right.
Because in these kind of houses, you're targeting actually a high price value.
Yeah. Now, if you're a homeowner, it's even better because you have an emotional attachment to your place. If you're living there for 30 years, if you're planning to stay there for 20 more years,
It
why
makes sense.
not?
Because you split it in 20 years,
Exactly.
it's basically the cost is anything with a low maintenance, high, with a heavy
Yeah.
duty kind of material.
It looks better, you last better. So, in my personal opinion, it's a matter of like if you have the finances and if you have that quality taste, that quality vision, I would say go for it.
Yeah, because you have so many different factors when you planify. We talk about this over and over again. Planification is key. If you know what you're looking for, this is a real option for so many people. It's not for everybody, but if you planify accordingly, maybe it's the right solution for you and your family.
Not everybody get Hondas. Not everybody get Chevys. Some people like the luxury cars, and that's a great example in our industry. for something like that.
It is, and the decks that we have done with this type of materials, most of them are, houses on the lake. I mean, we're talking about high-end kind of properties.
Is that, what's his name? We have a video testimonial with him.
What's from Tom Harrington.
Tom Harrington, yeah.
Yeah, we did a beautiful
deck is like absolutely amazing.
Yeah, you can check it out on the video.
Yeah, if you go to YouTube, actually, I think we have the video on Facebook and YouTube. So you look for Tom Harrington MOG testimonial. Yeah. It's like fantastic. Lake house.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It's actually a river house, right?
Yeah, it's a river just right there. They have the dock in order to fish and all that.
All right, so before we jump into the item number 2, let's give you a little bit about background about why we're actually qualified to be talking about decks. I mean, this year we've done like what, 40 decks, 50 decks, 60. I don't even know. I lost count.
We're around top of my head between 35 and 45 decks right now. Composite is a
it's
smaller
massive
amount.
decks. Our average project is 35K for decks, right? So that means that it's not a small deck at all. We barely do small projects, and of course that's more towards the homeowner. But we also have a lot of investors we work with that they do decks in the Atlanta and in the city, because we do for our own properties. So in terms of our own properties, we always do decks.
Yep.
Right.
Always. Not composite, but most of the time, we do decks or screen porch or both.
Yeah. And why do you think for the composite side we're actually qualified to be talking about it? Because that's not the most of our decks that we do. Because like I said, that's the Ferrari of decks. So of course you won't be doing only Ferraris. That would be the minority.
Right now that we're getting involved with the certification part of it, with the Trex product, you start, dig a little bit deep down about the information, about what type of materials you have out there, how you want to install it, what is the fasteners that you use. You're getting more dive into the information, and that gives us the chance in order to present the information that we handle right now.
That is real data from the same city, from the same market you're at.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And that makes a difference.
Overall, I believe that right now we're one of the largest home improvement companies in Georgia in terms of revenue. And last year we've done 140 projects. This year we're on track to triple that. But deck is our number 2 specialty, maybe only losing for bathrooms, right? And then kitchen, basement, and full rehabs. We do a lot of full rehabs all the time. We have how many going on at the same time right now? 5 or 6?
Yeah, right now we're working in 4 of the invested houses that we own, and we maybe 7 or 8 different people, 3 in permitting. Okay. 4 in progress.
So 5 that we own, 4 that we own, our own properties, and 7 to 8 full rehabs from customers.
Counting the ones that we're in the permitting, drawing kind of process.
I mean, it's all a process, right? We have the pre-construction, so
as soon as we start, it's part of the
project. Yeah. So in the construction phase, we have 3 or 4 from clients, right?
Exactly. Homeowners.
Okay, so item number 2, we want to talk about the cost factors involved in the composite decking price. So what are the main cost factors involved in this price, Victor?
The material is the biggest one. As I said before, 7.5 times more than the regular material.
7.5 times.
Yeah. I'm talking about board costs maybe $10. A composite one is around 68, 70. That's the main thing. The other cost involved is when you put all these boards together, you can use your regular screws. You need to something specific.
You can't use regular screws.
Cannot. You need to use like a special kind of fasteners, and depending on the material, you have different types of it. But it's obvious to think that this type of specific fasteners are more expensive than the regular screws.
What about the size of the deck? I know that's kind of silly, but depending on the materials, sometimes you get better deals with the vendors if the decking is bigger, correct?
Well, depending if you go to the standard, because what is happening is these pieces, let's say that the regular standard is 16 feet long.
Right.
If you want to do a deck 16 feet long, you're on the standard. But if you want to do a 18 or 20, you need to buy actually a longer piece or a bigger piece or increase the cost of the post.
You can be more effective depending on the size of the deck.
Yeah, basically on the composite, we're talking about 12 feet or 16 feet.
12 or 16.
Whatever is not that standard is going to increase dramatically the pricing of the material and the labor.
How does the labor affect the composite decking specifically?
Well,
because I believe my question is, do we need a more specialized labor to install composite instead of pressure treated lumber?
Yeah, it's a product that's more delicate to work with. And what is happening with the composite is you have just one shot. You do it right, or you just need to replace the piece, replace the screw, or replace the fastener. And that increases the risk as a contractor. And that's why maybe part of the labor is, a little bit higher, because you need to be more careful about it. That increases the cost. No standard increase the cost. The type of fastener that you do increase the cost. Some people have done like a pressure treated post with this type of decking board on the floor of the deck. That's okay. But most of the people that we have done, actually, they do aluminum railing. And the aluminum railing is
taking a picture, man. So I'm just smiling here. I'm smiling out of nowhere, just so you understand.
What is so funny?
I'm smiling here because he's taking a picture.
I was saying that the aluminum is really expensive. And it's custom made depending on the color. It need to be delivered usually out of the state. That everything adds up to have a big difference on labor and material for this type of decking.
Question: any change in the pre-construction? By that I mean permits, architectural drawing, reports, because of the composite factor?
No.
No change.
The engineer behind is around the same principles, same code. In here we're talking the material that is going to be more or less resistant. The rest is categorized in the same kind of building code, same type of construction type of it. The only difference is the material and the careful that you need to do to install these kind of pieces.
Hey Marcelo, since you're doing this anyway, can you take a picture for my personal social media? Sorry guys, it's just like I got excited here. Thanks, man. This is Marcelo. He's the social media wizard of the company.
Yeah, he's behind all the
maybe like 10
content
pictures,
that you see around
Marcelo,
that.
maybe like 10 pictures so I can save one. Because the model here doesn't help a lot.
So 10 pictures?
Yeah, so I can use one,
Okay.
right? So I can select one.
Alright, so here's
No, I'm
one.
just messing with you. Yeah.
I'm just
maybe
imitating.
9, just 9. Okay, so all right. So what final factor will be the accessories, as you said, right?
Yep.
In terms of lights, benches, and things like that. Why does it need to be different?
Well, depending on the type of deck, you can have a second level deck, you can have a stage kind of deck, you can have a screen porch with a deck.
Thanks, my man.
And obviously that is going to change the planification. If you want to have ceiling fans, if you want to have an outlet, if you want to install a TV, if you want to just cover the roof of the deck, if you want to do a screen porch, if it's just a plain deck.
Really cool, man, for the social media. Sorry, thanks, myself. Go ahead.
The accessories are optional things, and
Yeah.
you can add and remove as many as you want. Obviously, you need to pay the price if you want to add the more stuff, cool stuff.
Okay.
Fireplace, I mean, you can add anything.
Now, okay, it seems like until now it's only bad news, right? Just it's more expensive and everything. The materials are more expensive, the accessories are more expensive, the labor is more expensive. Let's jump into the third item, which is the benefits of doing composite. That's the main reason we're even talking about this, because there is a reason you should be doing composite, right? So what's the number one benefit to you?
The biggest one, low maintenance, really long, lifetime. Really long maintenance for
long lifetime?
long lifetime. We're talking about maybe 30 years.
30 years, wow, that's crazy.
Most of the manufacturers, they provide 30-year warranty.
It's not that people don't leave their pressure treated lumber lasts for 30 years, right?
If you
It's
do the
almost
maintenance,
falling, but it's there.
we put an example always about, it's like a car. If you have a brand new car, you don't do the maintenance,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you have a really old car, but you keep up with the maintenance, you can extend the life of the product. In here it applies the same. The thing is, most of the people don't want to deal with it, or maybe you have like lake houses that you have this extreme weather where it's really cold, actually colder than a regular house. And this material tend to don't contract and expand much.
Mhm.
That means that it doesn't break, it doesn't have cracks, the color is not going to be faded. I mean, it's more durable kind of product.
Let me ask a question. What about the staining and how does it change?
It doesn't change. It's just pre-made. You don't stain it. They
You
come
don't
ready to
stain
install. Yeah,
composite.
come ready to be installed, and they. Most of the people that build this kind of material, they provide a 30-year warranty against the fading of the
That
color.
means that depending on the size of that composite decking, you're saving like a lot of cash by not having to stain it. Would you agree?
And the maintenance.
Yeah.
Instead of doing 3 pressure wash or soft wash a year, and you change the deck or stain the deck maybe every 2 years, you just basically don't do anything. once a year, maybe a soft wash, maybe every other, every other year, depending on where you live at, how many, trees are you surrounded for. If you're in a lake, maybe you need more maintenance.
Right.
It
Maybe
changes.
at the beach, right?
Yeah,
And then it's the
must be more heavy duty
Yeah.
to be against the elements, basically.
Correct. And let me ask you a question. What about the splinter? Because regular decks they can splinter, right? What
Yep.
about composite?
Nope,
No.
it's
Why
not
is
an
that?
option. And if something like this happen, you will be covered by a warranty.
Really?
These type of materials they come designed to actually be really smooth to the bare feet, and it doesn't split unless you actually damage the material. That's another benefit. It's a really smooth material to walk in bare feet, and you don't have this type of risk that it's going to be splinters or something.
Give me the percentage of how much more does a composite decking cost in terms of a pressure treated lumber? Is it 50%, 25%?
I would say it's around in material 7 times, in labor maybe 3.5.
Total.
If you combine both, I would say maybe it's 10 times more. A regular deck it runs maybe 15K. A big one or the same deck on the composite, you're looking around 65, 70.
Right. So you pay 5 times more?
Around
So
5 to 6 times,
5
give
to
or
6
take.
times. But you don't have any maintenance problems. You don't have any splinter problems. You don't have to
Yeah, you
stain
don't
it.
deal with it.
You-
You don't deal with the deck in a regular basis.
Mhm.
Once in a while.
And it looks better.
Well, the result is really well. It's really pretty. Really vivid colors and as I said, really smooth surfaces with the metal, high endurance,
Yeah.
no maintenance. That's the part actually that attract most of the people, that they don't need
The
to deal with it.
experience,
All
yeah.
people, I won't say all people. I'm sorry, like
Elderly people.
elderly people that they don't want to deal with it, and just want to kick back and enjoy the.
Yeah. Elderly
Sorry.
people won't have to deal with it. I understand.
Old
man.
people, I'm
Let me
old.
just keep talking. So I need to send a text to our support manager.
Yeah, most of the elderly people. I didn't mean to. I'm old, but I still can do some maintenance on it. Man, I just screw it. But it's fine. Low maintenance. That's the more attractive thing. More durable. This is the other one. That's the 2 key factors. That for some people is worth the price.
Okay. Let's jump into the 4th item, which are the drawbacks of the composite decking. What are the drawbacks of the composite decking?
Drawbacks. That's a good question, man.
Few disadvantages. We're not just trying to sell
Price.
the
I
benefits.
mean, for most of the people
5
that we know,
times
is some money.
for the investing side, which are a lot of our customers are investors. From that perspective, is unless you're like I said, unless you're building in Woodstock, in Alpharetta, it's a new construction, Eckworth, neighborhoods that make sense. It's just not worth it.
And for so many people, price is a big deal. And
Like 99% of people.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's why when you look in the outcome and we do the fact finding with these people, you know really easily when someone is willing to have the value of this type of material, this type of project. Not everybody wants to do it. Most of the people, they don't believe that it's worth the difference in the price, but it's always a niche for everybody. Is people doing this? High-end properties, properties on the lake, this type of property.
Another thing is you don't have as much problems as you would have with a regular deck, but when you do, it's harder to fix, correct?
It is, because the deck structure, it holds itself. I mean, all the components come together to have a solid structure.
Yeah.
We have said that a couple of times in here. When you have one damaged component, it's a big deal to unlink all of them in order to get to the one that need to be replaced.
Mhm.
The other really drawback about the composite is the weight. It's super heavy, way more heavier than any piece of wood.
Meaning that to replace something, you have way
It's more complicated.
expensive labor.
Because all the structure, it holds itself in place. If you don't have, or you lose this balance, you be in trouble because it's way too heavy. And besides that, you need a bigger footings a little bit sometimes, depending on the quality of the soil that you're doing this type of material. is a drawback for this type of thing. The bracing is a problem. The lateral bracing that you need with the wood is actually put a piece of wood on it. With the decking, you have the problem that it's going to look a little bit different, and you can find maybe the right piece to do the bracing, or sometimes it's not thick enough, or the color that you have is on a special order. It's so many moving parts in this type of projects.
And also with the color change, right? When you want to change the color, it's more complicated.
You cannot.
Yeah.
You need to replace it. Delivery is a little more expensive. You know, it's so many things that get involved in here. Price is the big issue here.
Okay. Let's talk now about the budgeting for a composite decking. How should people budget for that? How do you normally recommend that people budget for a project like that?
Budget is one of the things that is really hard to determine, because we said a couple of times that the moving parts involved in this type of project is not the same your house and my house, the Marcelo's house, and someone else's house. You're dealing with so many different things.
I think the most important thing is to call someone that will estimate it properly, because then at least you can use that as a base, right? And they will visit the property and they will consider all the factors that are involved in that specific.
And most of the customers that we have, they usually get 3 bids. Sometimes they're trying to get 3 bids, they get just one.
Just one sentence. Normally it's emoji.
Yeah, normally it's our quote. Believe it or not, the only bidder in most of the projects that we get. That's really a study.
And sometimes that delays even our projects, because since we're the only bidder, they normally will do it with us. But they're like waiting for the other people to send it, and it never comes.
Never happens.
And then they just give up. They're like, man, come on.
Exactly. And most of the contractors don't want to deal with this type of material, because the cost involved. You messed up, and you're taking big bullets here. The railing is custom made. If you miss a measurement or something, it's expensive to go back on track. That's why planification is key. But I would say that the price is the big deal here.
Okay, so we've covered the price, we've covered the benefits, the drawbacks. What else would you go? Let's give them some tips on how to save money to do the deck. Okay, so what's the number one thing you would recommend for people to do in order to, if they really want to do it? And a lot of people do. Let's say 5% of people want to do it. That's a market right there. So we can't just ignore that. And we still want to make them effective. Right?
If you stay on the standard, it's the big one. If you stay with a deck that is going to be 12 or 16 feet long, I believe you're going to be good, because you don't need to do cutting. You don't want to waste material. Basically, that's the big tip in there, the ninja tip. If you stay within 12 or 16, you're going to be okay. You're going to save around maybe 10-12% waste that most of the people do. That's the biggest one.
And work with a renovation company that is actually effective, because let's say they have a deck that needs to be removed. If the company is effective and do it in 2 days, the price would be X. If the company is not effective and do it in 2 weeks, the price would be X times whatever, right?
Yeah.
And labor is the number one cost of a renovation company.
Yep.
So if, as much as you can work with someone that actually knows what they're doing, the better, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And same planification to deliver. It's a lot of logistics. You need to deliver this material. Usually, it's a special order. It's not on the store, or at least the standard ones. You can find it in the stores, but most of the material is going to be custom made. Take some time to get the material, and that increase the pricing, because it's a long process. It's not that simple as you go and deliver some wood material on it.
Another important tip, and that applies to any deck that you want to build. Most of our customers, at least the homeowners, they wait until summer to build a deck, and that's normally the time where the prices are all jacked up, because everybody's doing it.
That's the market.
Yeah, it's the basic law of the market. So try to do it in another period of time.
Fall is really good. Between fall and winter is the best time to do this type, in general, exterior work, because most of the people are slowing down business, and as the market dictates, it's going to be a little bit cheaper,
Yeah.
at least on the labor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just wanted to go over some of the most important items for the maintenance of a composite deck. So, first of all, have never to use shovels or sharp edges to remove the snow and ice from your deck. Why
Yeah.
is that?
Don't scrape. This is like a pre-made, cure, fix surface.
People don't think on that.
Yeah.
That's why working with a company that will give you a post construction manual is a good thing, because they'll let you know that the things that you can't do.
And that's part of the
Save money.
certification. Actually, when you finish this type of product, just leave behind some information about who to call, something was wrong, warranty things, how you're going to keep this up, how you're going to keep the maintenance on the deck, what you can do, what you cannot do. And that is part of the certification process. You just build the deck and you just leave the information behind.
Right. Another maintenance tip for oil and grease stains: clean as soon as possible. Why is
Yeah,
that?
because it's a pre-cure surface. It's
Yeah.
cure, and you don't need to do anything besides just wash it. Long time ago, when we started this business, you can find all these pressure washing chemicals that you need to actually put the effort on it. Right now, you can have biochemicals that is not going to actually harm anything, and most of them you can just soft wash and rinse in order to clean. You just apply it, leave it settle a little bit, and just rinse. You don't need to do pressure wash. You don't need to scrape the deck.
That's exactly the next tip. If you're pressure washing the deck, never exceed a pressure of 1500 psi.
And if you don't know, because when you do it, you don't know exactly when you're going to exceed
Yeah.
that, you can just soft wash with a hose.
Yeah.
Most of the chemicals right now work by itself. Just let it settle, wash it, done. Till
And
next
clean
year.
it often, right? At least twice a year.
Twice a year, depending on, if you're surrounded by trees, maybe twice a year is a good number. If you're all open field, maybe you don't need that much.
At least once.
Yeah, maybe if you're inside the country, the pollen season is really hard. Maybe you do 1 or 2 times during this summer, spring kind of time of the year. It's not a rule of thumb, but basically, maybe 1 or 2 times a year should be good.
Also, the final one would be to improve the drainage around the deck to eliminate the standing water under it. How do we improve the drainage?
Well, that depends a lot on the conditions on the field, what is surrounded. When you have a big slopes, maybe it's a good idea to put like a secondary kind of collecting system to avoid the water to wash off underneath the deck,
Right.
or the water to settle around. Water is so powerful, even for this type of material. It's really powerful, and that means that if you can reduce the impact of the water in any matter, we highly recommend it.
Right, right. Okay, so now before we jump into the last item, just wanted to invite you all to head to our website, mogimprovementservices.com, and subscribe to our newsletter, where we're going to be sending you home improvement tips, amazing content, exclusive offers to our VIP list, the list that subscribe to our newsletter, and a surprise welcome gift the same moment you subscribe to the newsletter. Okay, so make sure you head to mogimprovementservices.com and subscribe to our newsletter. And we send about an email a week, right?
Yeah, with a lot of
information.
good information. As we say on the program, we provide a lot of consultation questions. People have so many questions we're trying to answer. Some consultation. We're here for you. We're a team of people dedicated to serve you. And as a part of the VIP list, you're going to get direct access to actually the knowledge of the company. Different
Yes.
people specializing in different things.
Yes.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Instagram, all the social media platforms.
Just
we
type
all over.
MOG Improvement Services and you'll find us everywhere.
Yeah, turn on the notifications. We're doing this program Monday at noon and Thursday
at noon.
at noon as
Home
well.
Renovation Made Simple on Thursday. The Art of the Rehab on Monday.
Yeah, trying to mix a little bit between
And we're
homeowners.
coming up with a podcast that we're going to be recording it live too,
Yeah,
to comment like news on the industry and stuff. Just trying to provide as much value as we can to the market so we can all grow together.
and that's the main goal. Just to be in front of people, looking for information, to execute, to planify, just to know. That's the main mission that we do in all what we do.
Okay, so yeah, guys, make sure you go to the website mogimprovementservices.com. As soon as you do that, a welcome mat will come down and give you the option to subscribe to our newsletter. Okay, I'm going to be contacting you personally to say thanks. All right, send you a video.
We will call you, promise.
Yeah. So last item and the most important one, we talked a little bit about that already, which is to find a pro. That's I can't stress enough how much that is important, because after you're doing this for 10 years and combining the willing to be always looking for the latest systems, latest technologies, what's working right now in the world, it will get you a totally different experience than doing this with a guy in a truck. Would you agree?
Absolutely, and that's a deal breaker. I remember that I read something that it says if you believe that a pro is expensive, just hire an amateur and see what happens.
Yeah.
And we
You pay the price no matter what. You
Yeah.
pay the price either at first with no surprises afterwards, or you're happy at first with the price, and then you're like super sad if they even finish the project.
And most of the people say, and we ask so often, how much it costs your peace of mind? How much costs your peace? For you, for your family, and can you bargain nickel and dime this? And most of the people get shocked, because maybe in the subconscious they believe that they providing the best. That doesn't mean that the more expensive is the best. That means that you find a pro. And
Look for the system. Look for proof of quality. Don't
reputation.
Because some people, they will use price just as a marketing tool, right?
Exactly.
Just to position themselves different. Just because they're more expensive, it doesn't mean that they're the best.
Exactly, and that's why the diligence of finding the pro is so important. References, that's why we push really hard on the testimonials and on reviews online.
Yeah.
Real people that we do business with that actually put a word out there for MOG.
That's another great tip too. When finding a pro, watch out for the fake reviews, because nowadays it seems like you can buy. I didn't know that, but it seems like you can buy reviews for people to review, to drop a review for you. That's crazy.
One of the greatest tips, and it's kind of strange when you read someone's profile. If you have a perfect score, it's not good.
Exactly.
You need to have someone get
It's
upset.
real life. If you're doing this for 10 years and you have no problems,
Yeah.
you're not a human being. You're
Exactly.
a robot.
And it's kind of strange, but it's real.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you have a really bad review, and when you read, the explanation.
And I would say that the time you have to handle a negative situation, that's when your true self is revealed, right? Because
Yeah.
the way you handle a negative situation is the way you.
And imagine that you spend a lot of money in this material, and someone actually mess you up.
Yeah.
You need to rebuy or just do a wood decking, because we're talking about big numbers in here to material wise to be expended. And this is type of material that you just mess it one time and it's done. You need to reorder.
And some people, when they face a negative situation, first thing that they're going to do is to abandon the work site. We do the exact opposite. Last year we've done 140 projects, meaning that at least 5 times we lost money to deliver the project the right way,
Yep.
because things happen, but the customer was not,
Maybe it's not.
damaged, right?
Sometimes it's different factors.
It doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter
The-
how much we want to deliver
It's
to you.
real life. It's real life.
Things happen.
It's real life. Things happen. The way you handle that is that makes all the difference. It's a matter, for me personally, a matter of character, and that starts with the leadership of the company. If it's a company, again, if it's not a guy with a truck, but then it goes down to the entire team.
Exactly.
Right.
We were really proud that we actually backed up and support every work, even from a nail to a big house. Any work that we perform out there is going to be backed out with warranty. We're not going anywhere. It's
Anywhere.
scary sometimes.
We
when
dream too big, right?
something wrong happened and you turn around and it's no one there. It's scary for most of the people. We're going to be here. We're not going anywhere, and we're going to take care of the situation. We deliver 100% of the time. We deliver.
Yeah, and there is no bigger joy than if you're a homeowner and you're building a deck to host barbecues, play with the family, to actually have the end result. That's what really matters. The process. We try to make it as smooth as possible to go around your daily life. but that really doesn't matter. What matters is the end product, the end result. That's what we specialize in.
How fast and how good you're going to be able to enjoy it. Because at the beginning, everybody's excited. After a couple of days, people start getting stressed out. After a couple of weeks, people panic because dynamic change. You actually want to get the result, and we're trying to be really effective about that.
Exactly. To just go around your lifestyle and you know, make it as least disruptive as we can. Correct?
Exactly.
My people, friends, thank you so much for watching today's show. I hope this show found you well. Okay, man, thank you so much.
Hey,
Another
always
show.
a pleasure.
Really excited. Thank you, Marcelo, for taking care of the whole technical aspects that we have no idea on how to do. We just like get it done, man.
Just get the pro.
Yeah,
we get the pro.
Get the pro. We got the pro, and
exactly.
he made it happen. But guys, thank you so much again for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you like our Facebook page, like our Instagram page. It's all MOG Improvement Services. Just type on the search box of these social media platforms and you'll be able to find us. Make sure you also turn the notifications in, because nowadays, unless you pay, you need to pay to play, and we do. But even though sometimes Facebook and YouTube decides to not show you that we're live, and we would really appreciate if you drop some comments below letting us know what was the number one best tip that you got out of this show today. Also, make sure you tag someone that absolutely needs to see this information, someone that you know in your family, maybe it's a business partner, someone in your network that is considering doing a composite decking, so they know all the factors involved in a project like that.
At least it's an information thing. Whatever decision you take, at least you got the information in order to support that decision.
That's it, guys. I see you all on the next Monday for the Art of the Rehab show, live every Monday at 12 p.m. Then again on next Thursday for the Home Renovation Made Simple show, also live at 12 p.m. A lot of new good stuff coming up, so make sure you go to our website, mogimprovementservices.com, and subscribe to our newsletter. If you're watching until now, thank you so much for trusting us. Thank you so much for following our work. Really appreciate that, and we see you all on the next Monday. Okay, thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank you.